Hello, and welcome back to the Follow Your Spark podcast. I am so excited for today's conversation, and it's actually going to be a really unique one. Today, I have Dr. Harnoor Singh on the podcast, and you're in for a special treat with this conversation because it's going to be a behind the scenes look at what goes into answering a call and creating a vision and really exploring when is a project worth pursuing, worth not pursuing, everything that goes into that. And I am so excited to welcome Harnoor onto the podcast today. And if you don't know this incredible human sitting across from me, he is a passionate physical therapist, a yoga teacher, a movement practitioner dedicated to enhancing health and well being through purposeful movement. He's also, as of 2 weeks ago, in a new visionary role at Tribe Baltimore, an incredible studio that exists in Baltimore and Mount Vernon if you've never been there. And that's really what we're coming on here to talk about today. What's going on at Tribe, the vision, the journey that it's been on for the past 2 years, and what's possible moving forward. So, if you have ever been at a moment in your life where you're asking yourself big questions and you have big dreams of things to pursue, things you want to build, communities you want to build, businesses you want to build, this is going to be a really powerful conversation. And I'm so honored and grateful that Harnoor said yes to being able to share all of this with you. So, Harnoor, thank you so much for joining me today.
Gina, thank you so much for the kind words. And yeah, I'm really excited for this conversation. One, for people who've never heard of Tribe, but mostly for the people who've been a part of our community. And it's something that I feel so excited about is this offer you gave. You said, hey, no, like I said, I really want to find ways to be as transparent as possible through this whole process. And you said, well, I have a podcast. I can help with that. And what a brilliant idea. And it really shows how much the community is helping the community. And so thank
Mm,
you, Gina, for this service that you're providing. And
mhm,
I'm really grateful to be here and
mhm,
share what I can to like really help with alignment of the
mhm.
entire upcoming several months.
Yeah, yeah. And if you've didn't know this, Harnoor has also been on the podcast before, so you can also check out his previous episode. And the other thing I want to say before we jump into everything, because I also believe this is relevant, one of the things that inspires me most about you, Harnoor, is that you have had visions in your life and really brought them to life. Like you are one of the founding reasons why Zook exists in Baltimore, and I know that that energy is also what Tribe needs. So I think it's a unique thing when people can have a vision of something that does not exist whatsoever in this moment and be like, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is calling me. So I'm also curious too of like, when you think of that concept of answering the call, what comes up for you when you just like think about the power of answering calls in your life?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm really grateful I've had the chance to build amazing projects, or at least in my opinion, so many of these projects have been amazing. And the first thing I want to do, just to like kind of talk about the Tribe project, and then to answer your question, is just gratitudes to Lola, like
Mm,
who brought this vision from the thought to the reality, And I'm really just standing on the shoulders of people who've put in tremendous amount of work. So this transition is very new, and I have been one of those founding members as well. I was here before Tribe started, literally mopping the floor, getting the space designed and
mhm,
ready. And through that process, I just want to first and foremost give my gratitudes to Lola, who's been in this project, putting her heart, pouring into it for a couple
mhm,
years now. And this transition, I'm really excited about. But as far as answering that question of what is it that lets me really know if this call is worth responding to,
mm,
I think in the beginning, when I first was involved in project development, the answer was yes to everything, right?
mm,
So if I had an experience or a thought, I would say yes. And now things have shifted in my life over the past couple years where for people who are just thinking to start a project that are looking for momentum, I think the yes strategy is a really fast way to get it going. Like yes, and don't wait for perfection. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this event. Yes, I'll do this. But it's now a little more delicate, the situation where my time is spent, where I have to feel like a deep yes to come into
Mhm.
something, and yeah, and then that's kind of what brought me to this moment where the transition happened, and I'd love to just jump into a little
Yeah.
bit of that right now. Is yeah, just several weeks ago, Lola and I had this opportunity to sit down, and she said, "Noor, I've given this project my heart, and it's just come to a point where I feel ready to let it go." And
Mm.
she said, like, "Would you be open to taking on this visionary role?" And the turnaround of the answer was fast, but the process wasn't. The
Mm.
turnaround of the answer took about 7 days before I said my yes. But the
Mhm.
process wasn't, oh, it's a yes. I had to go
Mm.
home and I had to really consider things, and I had to look at over the 7 days, I actually spent 3 days out in nature, and I just spent a lot of time hiking. And I really just was the question I was asking myself was, is this in alignment with what I could, with the gifts that I'd like to bring to this world? And then also looking at the whole project, can I be radically honest with myself as
Mm.
to where are the moments we've succeeded so much and where are the
Mhm.
moments that we haven't had the chance to really meet the bar we want in the standards we're trying to develop? And then why were those standards not
Mhm.
met? And being very honest through that whole process so that I could help take this project to a sustainable future, not only from like a business standpoint, but from a community and energetic standpoint. Both have been very important in this. And I have two to-do lists every day. One is the business standpoint of really developing like sales funnels and marketing and so on and so forth. But I have a equally important to-do list, which is looking out for the community and really being of service from an energetic standpoint. And so
Mhm.
when I looked in those 7 days in the transition, am I a full yes? Like looking at both lists, and can I and do I believe that my gifts can serve in this process? That's when I stepped in and I said yes, and from a space of humility, how can I step in
Mm.
and serve? And just a little bit behind the scenes, the moment I said yes, I messaged every teacher and I asked for a one-on-one with every single teacher. And I said, what do you see that I don't see? Like
Mm.
what are the parts here that are missing? And we did 20 one-on-ones in one week, 20 hours. And then from there, we had our full teacher meeting where we invited the vision and mission and created the alignment of the whole team. And then now comes this podcast, which is bringing that same alignment to the members, because it really is going to be a community-based project in order to really elevate Tribe to the next level.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is the power of really tuning into yourself, like not just the energetics of like, yeah, maybe it felt like a yes initially. And it was so important to also spend that additional time and check-ins and look at things from different angles, big picture, alignment, core values. Like, is this something aligned? And it sounds like at the end of those 7 days, you got that like energetic clarity and affirmation to, yes, I'm willing to explore this. And now it's this kind of liminal in between space of let's just see what happens and what we can create. So I'm curious too, also, I feel like we haven't really mentioned this for people who are totally brand new to Tribe. They've never heard of Tribe before. Can you share what Tribe is and maybe even like encapsulating the vision for what Tribe could be?
totally. So thank you for sharing all that, Gina. And yeah, as far as what Tribe is, it's a space where we really called it the School of Embodiment, Tribe School of Embodied Arts. And I think every single word in that has been really encapsulating of the vision. Tribe, the community. School, a chance to pursue curriculum. It's not only a yoga class or a martial arts class or a dance class, it's an entire school of embodied arts. And we
Mm.
really wanted it to be a space where every single art form that we can squeeze in this square footage could be represented, where we have dance, we have martial arts, we have yoga, we have strength classes, and we have restorative. And the term school really pushes the curriculum, the term embodied,
Mm.
bringing everybody out of this mental living that we've been experiencing, where sometimes I get the chance, to be in these spaces where we're sitting and we're just in the mind for hours, whether it's talking about the world or talking about our day. And as much as I love the mind, I'm a huge fan of what this tool has given me. It can really turn on you. It
Mm,
can start, you can, I used to look at intelligence as the highest category of like
mm,
respect. Like the more intelligent a person, the more respect, in my opinion, that I would give them. But I found as I've been developing my mind that there comes a point where it starts to turn on you, where you can have cascading thoughts and so on and so forth. And if we don't drop into this state of embodiment, the mind no longer becomes a tool.
mm,
And so then the last word, arts, just really bringing in not only research driven models and being able to like look at my background being a physical therapist, looking at it from that perspective, like as a science, but looking at it also as an art and
mm,
having the chance to have this expressive form. And it's really the melding of the science and the art that's brought together this community of Tribe. So that's where we're at with Tribe School of Embodied Arts. And as far as visions of the future, I'll share that in just a moment, but I just wanted to start with
mhm,
that.
mhm. Yeah, so beautiful. And everything that you said, I mean, like, I'm really, I'm a life coach. I have a very mind, body, spirit approach. And I feel like I'm also seeing this in the world of people wanting to be in their bodies more and more and more, and really understanding the deep wisdom that our bodies hold. So it's such a beautiful kind of integrative approach of, like you said, science and art, and knowing that, yes, our minds are this incredibly beautiful tool, and our bodies hold so much wisdom. And to be able to have a school, have a community, have a space where people can experience that. They can experience that from all different avenues, no matter what they might be interested in. So I think it's a really unique gift and opportunity that, Tribe offers.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to double on that, like it's really bringing in both that I think will be what supports Tribe and what we can do to serve the greater community is having the science and the art coming
Mm,
together.
nice. Yeah. So for anyone listening, that's kind of the essence of Tribe. And as you begin to even vision for what could be possible in the future, tell us more about what's beginning to like unfold and percolate, and yeah, the dreams that are coming through.
Yeah, so what's so nice about this podcast, guys, is that it really is a raw look at everything, um, that will be refined slowly and meticulously through the use of our incredible teachers, our incredible leadership team, and the community.
Mhm,
And so to kind of bring up like where's the mission at right now, where's the
mhm,
core values, and then where's the
mhm,
vision for the future,
mhm,
I'm going to start off by just sharing where it is today.
mhm,
And what's important about where it is today is that the mission and the core values are going to be living documents.
mm,
Right now, the creation of both of these, I'll
mhm,
explain what created
mhm,
them, but it's important to note that we're looking for feedback from the community on both of these documents
mhm,
in order to co-create this. And
mhm,
the mantra that I keep saying in my head is a community built by the community. So
mm,
this is just tier number one. This is where the brainchild that I've been working through, but I just got the chance to get this all to the teachers, and then eventually we'll be getting it to the community, and we'll be recultivating and recreating this mission, vision, core values. But just to
mhm,
share where we're at today.
mhm,
So how we came about rewriting the core values, I think this is important, is that during the 7 day time span and the journaling that was taking place and creating the decision, I had to honestly ask myself, what has it been that's been stopping Tribe from really developing into a sustainable project and having not only the business aspect, but also the energetics that we're
mhm,
looking for? And thus, I came up with these 6 core values. And again, it's a living document, so we'll
mhm,
have to look at them. But these
mhm,
6 core values as our kind of our pillars of what creates the culture. There's this concept in business, they say, marketing is great, but branding is more important. But then there's another level. Instead of marketing and great is great, branding is more important. They say branding is great, culture is most important. And so these core values are a chance for us to seep into the culture of what we're hoping to build. And there's many times that we haven't been able to match these values and at the standard that we like in the past. And there's many times that we have. We've been like excellent in so many ways, but these have been the guiding principles. And so let's just dive in. The very first core value is going to be community first. And it just shows in the name. It's called Tribe School of Embodied Arts, Tribe being community first. And as much as we've gotten to do that in the past, there's been so many moments we have. Like a moment that comes to mind for me is our 1 year anniversary. Were you there, Gina, for the 1 year anniversary?
No, because I was at Tsukit.
Nice. Yeah. So this year we made sure not to let that happen again. But yeah, so the 1 year anniversary was so special. We got to do a showcase, and it was all the teachers showcasing with their students. As many of the teachers that we like, we had an aerial yoga performance, we had house dancing performance, we had a contemporary dance performance, we had acro yoga performance, movementology performance. So just so many different practitioners, and it's the students performing, right? They're just coming and showing what's going on. But it really brought in the community first experience where we had not, I told everyone, bring your parents and bring your
Mm,
children.
mm,
And it's what we look for when we're thinking of community first is a multi-generational space that can support the community. We just got the chance to start weekly yoga classes that are free for Baltimore.
mhm,
In my experience, Tribe has been doing so many great things, but one thing that tends to happen by accident often in project development is that it lives in a silo to the greater city of Baltimore. And what we wanted to do right away is build in community first and start connecting to Baltimore as a whole, the ecosystem.
mm,
I really love this city and I want Tribe to do its part in serving this city. And so community first, first core value, and just seeing what are we going to do for the members that's better? What are we going to do for the anybody who enters the door? And
mhm,
even just our neighbors, like literally the people across the street. What how can we help them? How can we start from the center and let it
mhm,
spread? So
mhm,
that's the first core value. The second
mhm.
one, do you mind, Gina, that I'm just diving in? I'm going to
No,
name
it's
all
great.
six. Great. The second one is heartfelt understanding. And this is a space of just being able to fully empathetically listen, right? There's been many moments where we've gotten the chance to do that really well. And there's been many moments where we haven't, where we've missed the mark and being able to truly understand another person's scenario, whether we were missing the skills or the systems or the accountability to really make those moments happen. But
Mhm,
I could see how, and it's kind of funny, it's actually no different than community first, heartfelt
mm,
understanding. Like each one is going to go back to the very first one, community first, but that's the second one, is heartfelt understanding. How can we really hear people, whether it's in the leadership team, like really hearing each
mm,
other, or it's in the community with the members, or it's just amongst one another. We want that to be a permeating experience, heartfelt understanding. The third one, which is a big part of why this podcast is happening, is openness and transparency.
mhm,
And so, oftentimes in project development, it can happen sometimes by accident, sometimes it happens even on purpose, where the leadership team holds certain experiences, and the communication between visionary role, leadership team, teachers, and students can feel like information is missing. And we really want to collapse the model and let openness and transparency exist in the community, where town halls become available, chances
mhm,
for community voices to be heard. And these aren't ideas that like are coming from me. It's literally the community. And I'm just really excited to bring in my energy to start building those
mhm,
projects. And so
mhm,
I think that's something also that you said too, Gina, is like a town hall would be really
mhm,
supportive. And so that's something that like is heard, and we want to see how fast can we implement, because it's been a lot. And so number four, openness, transparency was number three. Number four comes to unreasonable hospitality.
mm,
And hospitality really can just be used as a word of service. Service first, right? So like how can we really be of service for people here? And we're doing this huge shift. I mean, this there's the visionary shift, guys, but there's so many shifts happening you won't believe it. We have the beautiful Radha on the leadership team who just came in from Washington. Same time the visionary role switched, Radha came here and her gifts are amazing. But you can just imagine that's a huge shift too. That she's right here coming in, visionary role shifted, and we had an app shift. We literally changed the entire software at Tribe at the exact same time. if I could have done it again, I wouldn't have picked all three to happen at the same time, but they did. And that all three are happening. But to bring it to unreasonable hospitality, just yesterday, as we're doing this app change, some of our old classes that no longer happen accidentally are showing up in our class. And so a member came in and they said, "Hey, I'm here for movementology." And we're like, "There is no movementology class, but unreasonable hospitality, we taught the class. We said we're teaching it right now. Come on up." And so like that's just what we want to do is bring service first. And it's not it comes from us, obviously, from us to the members, but like I can feel it in the members to us too. I feel it so many times where members are talking about how can they serve us and what do you need, Noor? And like people reminding me to drink more water. Like like it's just been like everybody serving everybody and all hands
Mm,
in, like in
mhm,
order to really build a sustainable project. So
mhm,
that's number four is unreasonable hospitality. Brings us to number five, radical candor. And
mm,
this one feels sometimes when I talk about it, it feels like a shift from the first four where it's like feel good, feel good, feel good. Number five is equally feel good. It's being able to have the hard conversation in the moment to demonstrate true kindness. Maybe it's only me, but I think a lot of us can relate to moments in which we had a conversation with somebody and we really wanted to tell them what needed to be said that
mm.
would help them grow.
Yep.
But for the sake of comfort of the moment, we only said what was kind in that moment.
Mhm,
And that's something that has really been involved in the leadership team. And it makes sense. We're a young team, we're learning, and it has been involved in the beginning where we were being um, like a kind, but I wouldn't even call it kind. I would almost call it
mm.
like insincere kindness, which is
Yeah.
like protecting the peace of the moment,
Yeah.
but stopping both people from growing. And so the fastest way through has been being candid and radically candid. And we have this now being often every meeting used in our dialogue. Can I be candid with you? Can we
Mm,
be candid? And honestly, even when a member talks to us, we say, please be candid.
mhm.
Let's hear it because
Yeah.
we have a timeline here of these 3 months to find out if Tribe is sustainable, and we really want to be candid in this process
Yeah.
because it's the fastest way up the mountain. So that brings us to number five. And there's just been so many moments in the past where there have been times where we've gotten to really hit that standard and it's been amazing, and many moments where we were not able to. And these moments, what's interesting is any moment where you protect the peace of the current moment, even though the truth should have been said louder,
Mhm,
has resulted in a deep slowdown. A deep
mhm,
slowdown. And it's what's honestly led to the project being almost in this like thick mud sensation instead of
mm.
this like experience of diving through water.
Yeah.
And so, if you remember, all of these core values were written out of the experience of what has been creating this mud experience in
Mm,
Tribe and what can let it become like a sensation of water vapor where you can just move
mm,
through it with ease. And so, those are the first five, and that brings us to our final one, and it's self accountability. And I want to be really clear. All of our core values, we've lived, even these new ones, we've lived to an extent. And it's just how can we get just better, raise the standard. And self accountability is a huge one. I used to think of this one as a little boring. I was like, oh, we need like really unique core values. But honestly, it's really, it kind of takes the cake. It's the chance to really take ownership of any moment where you didn't hit the mark and
yep.
holding yourself accountable to those moments and seeing how can I step up? How can I do even better this time
Mhm,
than the time before? And self accountability sometimes comes from the mirror of others. It's
mhm,
others being around us, helping us experience where did we miss the mark,
mhm,
and then from there being able to step up and hold ourselves to this standard. And so, yeah, just to name all six core values again, we
mm,
have community first as our very
mhm,
first one. And then our second one, heartfelt understanding. Our third one is openness and transparency. Fourth one is unreasonable hospitality. Number five, radical candor. And then number six being self accountability. And there's actually a reason number five, radical candor, is after heartfelt understanding.
Mm,
we make sure it comes
mm,
from heartfelt understanding, and then you're candid, not just like accidentally being like
yeah,
overly aggressive.
yeah.
But candidness and heartfelt understanding is a beautiful combination, and that's kind of been what's been in the back end of the beginnings of building this project. I know you asked about the vision of the future.
Pausing this interview to say that if you are listening to this and feeling inspired and lit up and imagining, wow, what's the dream or vision that's on my heart? And what would it actually take to create that? I host free clarity calls that are designed to help you explore exactly what that could be like. These calls are about asking yourself, what is it that I deeply desire? What dreams are important to me? What mission is important to me? And what would it take for me to actually create that? Who would I have to be? And also, what is standing in my way now that's holding me back from taking those steps? So, if you want to be in a visioning conversation for yourself and your own life, you can go to ginacasbar.com/clarity call. And this is a beautiful time to explore what dreams are on your heart. All right, my friend. And now let's get back to the interview. Yeah, let
Yeah.
me pause you because I do just want to say, A, what I'm seeing also, like in the collective, in astrology, in my clients, in my community, are these themes of individuation supports unity consciousness. And what this means to me is very much exactly what you just articulated in these core values, that when we strengthen ourselves as individuals, when we develop our ability to have radically candid conversations, when we take care of ourselves, when we feel grounded and present and courageous in our own selves, we can show up in community in a more powerful way. So I feel like these values are this beautiful articulation of that, of what it means to be accountable to yourself. And also, how do you want to show up in community? And also, that balance of energy and kindness, and knowing that delivery matters, and care matters, and service matters. And I feel like the future of this world is going to require all of these things. It's going to require all of us to be strong in ourselves, to develop these skills within ourselves, and then ask ourselves, how do we want to show up in community? What does it look like to build together as imperfect, messy human beings and have a vision and be willing to go for it? And how do we strengthen ourselves? How do we strengthen our teams? How do we strengthen our communities? So I just want to say thank you for all the work that you're doing in your own little microcosm, and also really for sharing this behind the scenes view, because I think this, like I said at the beginning, I think this is a really unique opportunity that you're not going to get to hear every day. So to be able to really see what goes into something like this is so powerful. So just thank you again for sharing this with us.
Yeah, absolutely. If you really want the real behind the scenes of Tribe, like you gotta come to the classes. You gotta see, and like this podcast, like it because of the timeline we're in, it just has me in it. But what would be like a real behind the scenes is if we had the community here. Like
Mm,
that the town hall would be a better fit. You know what I mean? We're like it's like I feel like as much as I'm talking about all of these subjects, like I really would love if all the teachers were here in this podcast, because that's what it's really about, is everybody contributing to this vision, mission,
mhm,
and so anyways, the reason why I even say that is I was talking about this is where the documents lie today.
mhm.
We are hoping to have another experience where we ask the community what they think of these documents and so on and so forth, so that they can actually become closer to the source of a community built by the community. But that's where we're at today.
Awesome. Yeah. So beautiful. And I love that. And maybe, who knows, maybe the town hall could be live streamed or something so that more of the community, whether they could come in person or not, could have access to that. But yeah, it's a really beautiful thing to just invite everyone into this conversation. So
Absolutely.
yeah, now tell us, if you're ready, of like what is beginning to come through when you think of what the future could be of Tribe.
Yeah, so there's two things, right? There's I keep talking about the two lists. There's the business and all of that, and then there's the energetics and making sure that both are married in the vision of the future. I'm right now in a space where we're in this ethereal space, and I don't want to be overly committed to any portion of the project that's developing, but I want to be fully transparent of what is developing. And so it may change, but these are what the upcoming 3 months look like. One is a full revamping of what it means to be a member here,
Mm,
right? And so, like, this is something that we're just working through nice and slowly with Radha arriving, but really letting it be a space where if you're a member of this community, we care a ton. And
mhm,
like, we want to reach out. We want to set up services where we're able to call and be like, "Hey, like how have things been? What's been up? What are your goals? How can we help you there?" So
mhm,
like really starting with our current community and seeing how can we serve this community.
mhm,
We currently have two major memberships. We have our elemental membership and we have our all in. Elemental is like, hey, I want to come take 2 classes a week here. All in is I want everything you guys got. And
mhm,
that means I can take all the classes, I can go to the sauna, I can go to the cold plunge, so on and so forth. We're right now looking to build a new membership tier. And so this membership tier that I see, we're calling it Total Health membership at this time. And the membership, we're right now interviewing a host of practitioners to help build this Total Health membership, but it's going to be the longevity and wellness membership. It's for
mhm,
people who want to really take the deep dive of embodiment, where you get the chance to um, be followed by a dietitian, a physical therapist, and a personal trainer while you're here at Tribe. And
mhm,
so this total health membership is just bringing in more of these grounded tools. Most of the time, when we talk about topics like longevity,
mhm,
um, most people, when they visit those topics, they're typically visiting spaces. People that have coined these topics of longevity, they typically are doing like these spaces where you're closer to the hospital setting, working with doctors and holistic practitioners, and which is great. But when we look at the research of what longevity is meant to be, we're looking at um, community being the number one predictor of a long life. And so rather than having these spaces where you're by yourself trying to build your longevity practice, we want to have a space that's here where you can get the chance to have your dietitian, your physical therapist, and personal trainer following you through the process, but you still get access to the most important longevity tool, which is the community.
mhm,
So the project contains a few levers. The very first one, supporting the members. The second one is the release of this new total health membership.
mhm,
The third one is just getting out into the community,
mhm,
right? And so we're working on being involved with all the local businesses, supporting there, and finding ways to just let people know about Tribe.
mhm,
We're making it as easy as possible for people to walk in. Little things, like just having two managers on site, where before we used to have one manager, and it just was a little straining. And I know that sounds operational, but it's actually not an operations thing. It really is an energetics thing,
mhm,
where if we have two people on site, it just creates so much more ease and we can create a beautiful experience for the members where
mhm,
we can walk them, show them if somebody's here for a first class, somebody can walk them to their class. Even though it's 20 steps, someone will
mhm,
walk into the class and we can start experiencing some of that unreasonable hospitality.
mhm,
The very first step is stability. We need to stabilize not only the business, but the energetics, stabilize both. And then the very next step is vitality. So
mhm,
we're right now in this deficit. We're losing money every month since the birth of Tribe. And this is that openness and transparency. It's been a space where we haven't had the chance to break even yet.
mhm,
And so the very first step is going to be breaking even. And the number that we're saying is 50 memberships. And so for the
mhm,
community, that's what, and the real number is 62 because we know some members will be leaving while
mhm,
we're getting those 50,
mhm,
right? And that's something that we recognize. So the behind the scenes number is 62, but and so we're sharing both, but the ones we're telling the members is 50. And
mhm,
we're making a lot of progress. We made I think 8 memberships this past week. So in theory, 42 more to go, but technically like 62. So
yeah,
you can do the math there. So we're building the memberships there, and we're doing an internal experience where like any member it's just so funny some of the ideas we're coming up with. But we're doing a referral challenge in here, so like any member who refers gets a point. So if you refer somebody and they become a member, you get a point. The person with the most amount of points at the end, we're gonna get you a sauna at your house. And so for some people that they're like, I don't really care for a sauna, and that's okay. Like one is if you don't care for the sauna, but you want a prize, you can exchange it for a MacBook. But outside of that, like there are people who are like, I don't even care about prizes, period. And sometimes that's an internal lever that can support people. So we want to utilize every lever we can. So that's some of the business models that we're creating is just creating a new tier, and then also creating a tier where we Tribe becomes accessible for people who don't have the income to come in, like
Mhm,
providing community classes. And so that was the very first step before we even wanted to build a premium membership where a
mhm,
physical therapist, a dietitian, and a personal trainer will follow you. We want community classes
mhm,
to become the norm here. So that was like day, I think, 36 hours in. We were like, okay, first
mhm,
day in community classes.
mhm,
And then we're now building out and we're interviewing the dietitians and building out the whole longevity sphere of Tribe. And so, yeah, these are some of the visions we have in the short term over these 3 months
mhm,
is getting these memberships to stabilize. And then we look at Vitality Tribe, which is a totally different model. Like Vitality
mhm,
Tribe is we have these classes, we have strength classes, yoga classes, and what's nice is that we have these three rooms here. Maybe you guys that know of the three rooms, that's great. But those of you who don't, we have right here above me the fire room. The fire room being the space where all the yoga classes happen. And it's something that Martha says this is where the antenna is developed. It's where conscious
mhm,
expansion
mhm,
is created. It's the space for the mind. We do the meditation classes there, the yoga classes. We have hot yoga, hot Pilates, but it's really the space of the
mhm,
mind. It's the fire room. Then right across from it is where we do our martial arts and strength work. That's the wood room. That's the space of the body. So we have the
mhm,
mind and we have the body development, where if that's your software, this is going to be your hardware development,
mhm,
literally developing your tendons, bone structure of the body. And that's where we're going to have our longevity classes, our kettlebell classes, our strength classes, our movement classes, our jujitsu, the whole development of the body. And then we have here the earth room where it's going to be your expression. So we have the
mhm,
mind, we have the body, we have the expressive arts. And
mhm,
so that's where you get the chance to really develop all your artistic abilities, whether it's dancing zouk or dancing house or dancing um, contemporary or Afro modern or aerial silks. Like we just have all the expression being built there. And so I know for the members, we sometimes can get gravitated to a room, but it
mhm,
really does share with you like where are you possibly missing your practice?
mhm,
Because if you're in one room only, you're possibly missing a portion of your practice. And I'll share with everybody the room that I'm not visiting enough, and it is the fire room. Like
mhm,
I get the chance to be in there from time to time, and but I know how much yoga can serve me in this period of my time, and it's the practice I'm doing every day. I've
mhm,
shifted everything from strength to yoga now because I
mhm.
I need the antenna and the
Yeah.
regulation tools, and I don't need the pump up right now. I need the pump up is happening
Yeah.
naturally. My nervous system is upregulated here, trying to
Mhm,
build and serve. And so every
mhm,
day I'm in a journaling and yoga practice to maintain my
mhm,
my where is what room do I need more of?
mhm,
And so yeah, those are the vitality would be really helping develop these programs and projects, having annual retreats that are from Tribe, like a retreat where we get to go to different spaces, having potlucks be the norm,
mhm,
community gatherings, having there be a space where deep professionals are here, like professionals of the highest caliber, whether you want advice on your diet or advice on your physical health, like oftentimes the question that people, if they have a question of like, I don't love the Western model of health. I don't love the hospitals. That's not me. That's what some people might say. I have deep admirations for hospitals and so on and so forth. As a physical therapist, I've worked in them. I see tremendous value in these projects. But some people, they don't attune, especially in chronic conditions, they don't attune to these spaces. And what sometimes people will say is, can we bring yoga into the hospital? Can
mhm,
we bring so like these concepts into the hospital? And that is equally important. And what we're asking is, can we bring high level practitioners to
mhm,
Tribe? Can we bring the hospital to Tribe? Can we bring
mhm.
dietitians, physical therapists? And then, like I don't mean to talk about Vitality Tribe too much because we really got to focus on Stability Tribe.
Yeah.
But the concept of Vitality Tribe, like I would love to have physicians we can refer to, like if somebody comes in, we have that knowledge of like these are practitioners that are incredible that we would love to vouch for, and we have referral systems and so on and so forth, that so we can really be integrated with the community. And then the last thing I want to say about envisioning is this concept of community first is a deep connection to Baltimore, and really
Mhm.
seeing what's going on throughout the boroughs of Baltimore and going on within all these communities, and how can we be a part of it? How can we get out of the door? Literally, like the team is outside in the city at the parks,
Mhm.
teaching, supporting, and seeing what we can do as our part within this city. And because I know so many community programs exist, and we just want to do our part here. And so
Mhm.
these are some of the visions of stability and vitality tribe.
Yeah, so powerful. And it was interesting to hear you articulate the themes of the different rooms because I hang out mostly in the like expressive arts room. And I know for me to have like that earth room, the grounded, the body, like I could probably use some more of that. And to just like be able to have access to it all in one space is so special. So I love that. And I'm curious too for people listening to this and resonating with this vision and resonating with this mission, how can they get involved right now? And I know that the anniversary is coming up soon. So yeah, tell us like what would you love from the community to like engage with Tribe, participate with Tribe?
Yeah, there's three things that we've been typically asking. You know, we've been so lucky how many people message me saying, "I love to help, I love to help," and it's just been like so amazing, how much people have been helping. The very first one, and it really is the most important. So the next two are not that important. The first one is the most important, is come to the space. Just come take a class. Like it would mean the most to us. If you're a member, this is the time to come. Like, if you're tired one day, come. Like, please fill up the space.
Mhm.
It doesn't, and it's not about like the business of making more money because our members, they get unlimited classes. So, like,
Mhm.
it doesn't affect the business, but it is the most important is filling the space so
Mhm.
that all of us are inspired. The team is
Mhm.
inspired, the teachers are inspired, all of us, and the members are inspired that we all are putting our hands in. So, that is the
Mhm.
most important. The second one that we typically say is like, if you have something great to say about Tribe, tell us and please help us, or please leave us either a review or let us take a video. Let's start spreading that this place exists. And
Mhm.
thank you, Gina, for like doing a multi-minute, 45-minute experience on that, you know, like of
Mhm.
us getting to talk about this. Like, what a service. The third thing that we are asking for is just sharing with a friend. You know, bring a
Mhm.
friend too. Don't let this be a personal experience. Bring a buddy, and we're really here to make that easy. Like if it's their first time at Tribe, we're here to bring the class for free. Just come in.
Mhm.
Like don't worry about the finances. Don't worry about. Just come and experience the space. That's one of the most important things you can do. We do have our 2-year anniversary coming up. The 2-year anniversary is set up where it's April 25th and 26th. April 25th is a big party. So it's just going to be come on in. We have a DJ upstairs. We're going to have food downstairs. And it's going to be just come enjoy. Um, and all three rooms are going to be open. We're hoping we pack the place up with members, friends, community, bring everybody. This event, I won't say bring your children and parents because it's a late night event. You know, it's 8 p.m. to midnight and it's dancing. But yeah, bring them. But just understand that, like, you know, it's a late night event. Versus the next day is going to be then our showcase, which went just so beautifully the first year to the second year. And yeah, the second year showcase is going to be from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We made it 12 to 4 just in case there's wiggle room needed. But it's going to be all the teachers and students performing and sharing about Tribe. And this one, we want infants, we want kids, we want everybody at this event. Come on out. We'll definitely have a space for kids to be playing too. Because I remember last year, a lot of people brought their kids, and kids don't find it as exciting to watch somebody do a handstand. They want to do the handstand. And so we'll have just like a space available for kids to just play and hang out and so on and so forth. And so yeah, just gonna just bring everybody, enjoy. and we're super excited about that.
Mhm.
And then the last thing I just want to say, like, like as much as I shared a little bit about the vision of the business models and so on and so forth, and the energetics. I did talk about the energetics. That is still the one of the highest priorities.
Mhm.
And so, like, we're really here to see all of our successes of the past, be grateful for every single one,
Mhm.
and with self accountability, hold ourselves to the standards of being better than we've ever been.
Mhm.
2 years old. If we look at a baby, 2 years old, that's all we
Mhm.
are right now. And it's been an incredible journey of major like moments that feel like, slam dunks, we did so good, and major moments of like, we missed the mark and how
Mhm.
can we do a lot better. And so I'm really, here to bring that transparency. And so is the
Mhm.
team, and so is the teachers, and so is the community. And we're here to really hear what is it that you guys want. So the last thing I'll say, and maybe there's more questions, but the last thing I'll say on this is the reason why the vision that I have right after we leave Stability Tribe is that we do another meeting amongst the teachers where it's not me sharing, but it's us receiving again. And it's
Mhm.
going to be an experience where we co-create the mission and co-create the core values and co-create the space together and hear everybody's dreams. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, that like I'm really happy that these 3 months, like I can put the pedal to the metal and take the project and see what I can do and the leadership team can do and the teachers can do. But then as soon as we hit stability, looking at what does Vitality Tribe look like
Yeah.
together as a collective cohesion.
Yeah. So powerful. And we'll put all of the like links to everything, to the website, to the social media, everything in the show notes. So if you want to find Tribe, it'll all be there. Please come. And I'm also curious, and I think this would be so useful for people to hear of what is helping you approach this project that could go different ways and like pour your all into it without knowing what's going to happen. Because I feel like so many people, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're business owners, there can be so much fear of like, well, I don't even want to do this because I don't know, it could fail. So are there any thoughts? Are there any beliefs? Like what is fueling you to be willing to take this on, this experiment, this exploration without knowing what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for me, because I'm in the visionary role, I'm all in. I have to be. If there's anybody who's supposed to be all in, and like, there's fatiguing days. I mean, the days, guys, the days are crazy here. The days that you won't believe, the days the leadership team goes through right now because of just how much passion we have. And there's times, where we're like, whew, like, what a day, and so on and so forth. And like even like moments of like, is this gonna work? Is this not? And like for me, I'm not necessarily tied to the result, but I'm deeply dedicated to the process. Like I
Mhm.
don't really mind what the result is, but I
Mm,
know for anybody who's read the four agreements, the
mhm,
fourth agreement, do your best. That's
mm,
all I'm here to do. And it's from a space of like humility and like humbleness that like the result could be anywhere, you know? And so like I don't know what the result is, but I do want to just say that like the process is one and the same.
mm,
We will like do our absolute best to create an energetic space that's beautiful, whether
mhm,
it's for the end, which is not what any of this podcast has been about, 47 minutes on a vision, but if it's the end, it's the end of of us all learning so much and packing our bags in our lives for what's to come next. And we
mhm,
had this chapter together, and we all
mhm,
gained so much out of it. And
mhm,
that's not something that I tend time to envision, but it is a reality that can happen. But
mhm,
what I spend most of my time on is understanding that the process, whether it's the end or it's the continuation, is the same, which is I'm
mhm,
all in and I'm here to do my absolute best. And
mhm,
so and I can speak for the leadership team too here,
mhm.
where they've been doing that, and the teachers as well, that they've been doing that, and all the members who keep coming up to me, like
Yeah,
you, Gina, saying, "Hey, I have some ideas," and I said, "Let's hear them,
yeah,
let's do them, let's go."
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel like this energy is so important. Again, I feel like I say this often and it's like cliche, but now more than ever that I feel like we're in this very unique moment in history where there's opportunity for so many things to be recreated, reimagined, re-envisioned. And yeah, we're going to have to do them with risk of failure, with risk of I have no idea what's going to happen. So the energy from which you guys are all approaching this project again is deeply inspiring. And I think what I'm hearing too in the whole School of Embodied Arts, like it takes something to be willing to do that. It takes something to put yourself at risk, to take leaps of faith, to risk failure, all of that, and to have that those foundational pieces of like supporting your mind, supporting your body, supporting your spirit, supporting that energetic self-expression. Like all of these are tools that can help each of us show up to whatever dreams or visions we each have in our own life. So I think that's also an example and testimony to me. And I'm curious, if this resonates with you, that like what you're doing, I think creates the possibility for other people to again be stronger in themselves and go create whatever they're passionate about. So I'm curious what you
Yeah.
hear when I say that.
Yeah, if I really believe in the team, and if we're getting the chance to reflect a process that other people feel called to take on in their own lives, I'm grateful that that's some of the things that people might take away from this. And yeah, it's so cyclical, all of this. Like if they take that, if this is inspiring for others, it's inspiring to us. And like as much as we're building Tribe right now, it's building us at the
Mhm,
exact same time. Like each
mhm,
of us are like like as much as we're trying to clarify the energy of Tribe is what I'm talking about. I have to do so much yoga and journaling right now to do that
yeah,
same release in my own body, because
absolutely.
whatever is my internal like side or blind moments, like that, if I'm dysregulated, how can we, if the leadership's this, so all of us, like we're all here to co-create, co-build, and so on and so forth.
Mhm,
So yeah.
mhm. Yeah. Oh my God, so good. Is there anything else I didn't ask you that you want to say, or there's like one thing you wanted to leave people with? What would that be?
Yeah, it's just gratitude. I just wanted to like take more time to be grateful. I shared a little bit about the beginnings of Tribe. It really has been an amazing experience getting the chance to work alongside the original team, right? The team from the beginning. Like my gratitudes to Lola, to Gary, to Barry, to Sunny, to Martha. These are some of the people at the very, very beginning, the shifts that took place in the leadership team, to Stacy, to Jenny, and other people that have contributed in these transitional spaces. And
Mhm,
then to the current team where we're at, like so much deep gratitude to Diera, who's been the director of Tribe and the skeleton here, like really
mhm,
holding the space. And then Radha, who came in across the country and right away, like brought the gifts of energetics to the
mhm,
space. It's been unbelievable. And then Val and Steph, who've just been helping at the front desk and creating such unreasonable
mhm,
hospitality, supporting and making the space top notch. And then to all the teachers, and I really want to be and grateful for the original team, and then all the original team where I named Martha then, but to name Martha now as well,
mhm,
who's been leading this unbelievable teacher training, and she's just been doing fantastic work with guiding so many people and supporting the project, and
mhm,
calling me and saying, where do you need support, where do you need
mhm,
support, I'm in. And then, of course, all of our teachers as well. We have so many teachers, and I want to take a moment to name them. Like, we have so many teachers where we have Jai, who's been so supportive and asking how she can help. We have Vasharid, Alex, Brianna, Chris, Tupa, Mary Andrea, Val, Rachel, Mace, Laura, Eric, Maya, Sean. These are all community
mhm,
leaders, and every single one of them, we're so grateful for every teacher who's put their hand in and supported us in this process. And yeah, I just wanted to really take a moment to honor all of
mhm.
them, because I'm happy that I get to be here in this podcast. But like I said, it would be really more important for the whole community to be here.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, that's just some of the things that
Yeah,
come to mind.
beautiful. Like you said, this is a tribe, this is a collective, this is a community, and it's very clear, that you're not the only one behind this project. And I love that that's such a core value and a core intention moving forward because, yeah, I think we all can be so much more powerful together when we're aligned, when we're building together, when we're working together. So I'm really excited for whatever is going to happen, however the journey is going to unfold. And I think it's just going to be really beautiful to witness and be a part of it. So if you're listening to this, come out. I'm at Zook every week. You can find me there. But yeah, it's a really unique place, and I'm really grateful to all of you, to everyone that you just named, to everyone who's a part of the community, and I'm excited for what could be possible, no matter what happens.
I'm so grateful for your time, Gina.
Mm.
Last thing I'll say for anybody who's listening, if there's specific questions you had, because like the whole concept of openness and transparency, I thought we'd get through it all. Turns out you can't sum up 2 hour or 2 years in 1 hour. So if there's any questions you have, any moments that you're like, I love more clarity here, just text me, call me, email me. Our email is Harnoor at, or my personal email is Harnoor at tribebaltimore.com, Harnoor, or hello at tribebaltimore.com works too. Like, reach out, call us. We will definitely be open to a one-on-one or many on one where we just hear you. And
Mhm.
so we're really here for that moment, and we'll do it again and again and again and again.
Yeah. And I know you guys send out emails, right? So can people get on the email list if they want updates of like if there's going to be a town hall or if there's other information, like can they get on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be sending out an email pretty soon with this podcast link and everything. And then we're also going to see if we can squeeze in a town hall before the 2 year anniversary.
Mhm.
We don't want to create confusion because they're both such big events, but the town hall is a little different where we'll get the chance to hear everything. So
Mhm.
if we can, we really want to prioritize and squeeze that in. Even
Mhm.
if not everybody can make it this round, at least we get the process started.
Yeah, amazing. So there's all kinds of ways you can engage with Tribe. You can learn about Tribe. You can ask questions. And again, just thank you for your radical candor and your openness and your transparency. And I know this conversation is going to be valuable for so many people. So thank you for being here.
Welcome to Tribe, baby. School of
Woo!
Embodied Arts.
Amazing. See you soon.